Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, summer is here. If you plan on flying, you may want to listen up. We'll tell you what's impacting flights in Victoria this summer. And we hear from a local owner facing issues impacting his business, what he proposes as a solution. Plus, a shakeup at the CDC. We'll tell you what that could mean for vaccines.
And this morning, we are once again tracking another line of strong showers and thunderstorms crossing across Texas that will be bringing us rain chances today. But not only that, we have alert days for heavy rainfall possible later this week. All that in the weather coming up.
And who will be a part of the state's 7-on-7 tournament and be named TCL Player of the Week? I'll tell you both of these answers later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. The countdown to meteorological summer continues. And tonight, we can expect a strawberry moon.
That's right. We can expect a strawberry moon. And actually, I want to correct you on that. Meteorological summer has already begun.
Oh, it already begun.
Astronomical summer is on the way.
Astronomical summer. That's the one.
Yeah,
on my birthday, the 21st.
Yeah, that's right. That comes in later in June. But before that gets here, we're still a little bit hot out there. We're already warm out there to start out the day on your Tuesday. It's 75 looking live in Victoria for your air temperature. Dew point's at 74. Bringing humidity to 96%, which is technically enough to see maybe a little bit of light fog. So, just be careful with the roads. You might see a little bit of it, but we have a little bit of mixing wind out there providing us with, the drying air, which would technically provide us with lighter fog. So don't want y'all to worry too much about that. And also don't worry about rain. That's all clear out there. This is actually a radar anomaly. These are wind farms out there near Wharton that the radar is picking up. But out to our west, we're talking about central Texas. Here actually deep in the very center of Texas is Brady. Brady, Texas is the exact center. There is a line of thunderstorms that will be approaching us later in the morning, bringing us some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances. So maybe grab the umbrella, but also make sure to stay hydrated. Looking for indices up to 105. All those details and more coming up next.
Breaking overnight, Russia sent waves of drones and missiles in an attack on the Ukrainian city of Odessa early this morning that killed at least 3 people. The attacks came hours after Moscow launched almost 500 drones at Ukraine in the biggest overnight drone bombardment in the 3-year war. Ukrainian and Western officials have been anticipating a Russian response to Ukraine's audacious June 1st drone attack on distant Russian air bases. Depending on when you're flying out of the Victoria Regional Airport this summer, you may need to brace yourself for major disruptions. Starting Monday, August 4th, the runway and taxiway used by United Airlines will shut down completely for critical FAA-mandated upgrades. The shutdown will last through September 5th and will impact all commercial flights. Private planes are not affected. If you have a United flight during this time, contact the airline immediately to check if your travel plans are affected. Don't get caught off guard. Plan ahead now. An owner says homelessness in Victoria is hurting his business. He's calling for a community-funded solution. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting brings us the owner's story.
Over 600 people in the Crossroads are considered homeless, with most of that population made up of children. Some local business owners, like Dwayne Barker, say these residents have been causing issues.
I am always having to clean up, especially on weekends. It gets worse with homeless coming in at all times of the night.
Just this past weekend, Barker had to clean a significant mess left by homeless residents, digging through his trash and dumping the contents.
I had 4 different individuals come back in Saturday night digging through my trash. Business cannot have water or outdoor receptacles, as this will cause the businesses to become a hangout and camp for the homeless to bathe, cook, and charge their phones. That's one of the reasons why businesses do not decorate at Christmas anymore.
Barker suggests that the entire community band together to foot the bill for the expense of a permanent homeless shelter. He says business owners like himself experience the impacts from these residents more than others, and has called on the city and the county to do more to address the homeless situation. Trenton Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you support a community-funded homeless shelter? 69% of you say yes, and 31% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Protests continued across the country Monday as California sues the Trump administration. Thousands gathered in solidarity with Los Angeles amid the immigration raids. In Austin, a largely peaceful protest took place downtown to condemn the uptick in immigration detentions across the country. Protesters in Dallas also took to the streets. The demonstration started off peacefully but took a turn when marchers were confronted by Dallas police officers. Officials announced to the crowd that participants had to leave or face arrest. Now to the shakeup at the CDC. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy removing members of a vaccine advisory committee. Here's ABC's Lionel Moisey with the latest.
This morning, a massive change by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. removing all members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee, which makes recommendations on the safety and efficacy of vaccines. Members getting a notice saying this email serves as formal notice of your immediate termination. Kennedy releasing a statement saying, "Today we are prioritizing the restoration of public trust above any specific pro or anti-vaccine agenda." Kennedy argues a clean sweep is needed to restore public trust, claiming the committee had conflicts of interest, adding the Biden administration appointed all 17 current members, with 13 of them last year. But critics have called this change dangerous and partisan.
Remember, this is the same man that just told you at his Senate hearing he would never take vaccines away from anyone, and he's doing that. This is the same individual that said, don't take my advice, I'm not a medical doctor.
Do you think that there needs to be a change in the process on how this board is appointed?
You and I don't ask when our pilot is flying our plane, are you a Democrat or Republican? You ask, can you fly this plane safely? Do you have the experience and the expertise to do that? That's what this committee was all about. And it has served us very, very well over the years.
Lawmakers also reacting. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer calling the move reckless, radical, and rooted in conspiracy, not science. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, who is a physician, posting on X, "Of course, now the fear is that the ACIP will be filled up with people who know nothing about vaccines except suspicion," saying that he will continue to talk with Kennedy to ensure that's not the case. The Trump administration says the current appointments would have prevented choosing the majority of the committee until 2028. The committee's next meeting is slated for later this month. Replacements have not been named yet. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
A reminder this week for local business and community leaders. The Victoria Economic Development Corporation's regional partnership is hosting a special meeting this morning. The event takes place at 702 North Main Street inside room 205 starting at 7:30, a little under an hour from now. Texas State Representative A.J. Louderback will be the guest speaker, highlighting legislative priorities for the region. The meeting is open to the public and anyone can join the conversation. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time is now, let's get a look at 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A local group is hosting a special event to honor veterans and their families this Independence Day.
I'm ABC's Perry Russ amid Washington. President Trump sending hundreds of Marines to Los Angeles amid the protests against ICE. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me tracking this line of thunderstorms that is cracking across Texas coming our way later today. So coming up next, I'll tell you just when I think this rain will get here. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. You look live in Cuero. We're starting out the day nice, warm, and humid, and a little bit cloudy as well, as you can see on the camera. 77 is our air temperature right now to start out our Taco Tuesday. Dew points at 76, bringing humidity to the high 96%, which earlier I did say is enough to see some light fog. You can actually kind of see some of the very, very light fog over the tops of the trees, where there's more water transpiration happening with the plants. But don't worry about fog this morning. The main concern today is going to be some rain. Don't need y'all to be concerned about it, but I do want to let y'all know we might have a few thunderstorms out there today. You're going to see that right here on your future tracker. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know, I think the time frame for today's rain chances, which are at 30%, going to be between, I'm thinking, 10 or 11 a.m. all the way up until about 2 or 3 p.m. time today, because we're going to be tracking that line of thunderstorms, which is currently right now in West Texas, which will continue approaching us out of the northwest, and I think it will kind of dissipate before it gets here. But I do think when it gets here, there's going to be a few isolated showers of thunderstorms that will be moving through our counties as we go into the early afternoon. Here's 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. You can see maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms that will be left over in the later afternoon time. Otherwise, the sun will come out in the late afternoon time to heat us up just a little bit. In the background, we do have this level 1 out of 5, very low marginal risk for severe weather for all of our counties, where the main risks are going to be some pocket change size hail, an inch or less in diameter, or damaging winds gusting up to 60 at times. But going into tomorrow and Thursday, that's a different story. We have alert days in effect for possibly heavy rain, and we also have some more good news in the tropics. That's all coming up next because it's hurricane season. And speaking of hurricane season, when the storm hits, the power goes out. So will your family be ready? You can stay storm ready with Aztec Ford and Goliad. We're giving you the chance to win a free generator to keep your home powered when you need it most. It's real quick and it's easy, and it could save you big when the lights go out. Just come to crossroadstoday.com now to register for the Storm Ready Power Giveaway, proudly sponsored by Aztec Ford and Goliad. Click on the menu at the top left-hand side of the screen on crossroadstoday.com. Click on Entertainment. Next, click on Contest, and then click on Storm Ready Power Giveaway. Good luck.
This past week in the regional 7-on-7 tournament took place here across the entire state of Texas. And after this past weekend, there are 4 teams who made it through there with Ty, David, Ganado, Cuero, and Bay City. All 4 of these teams will competing at the state 7-on-7 tournament there. It'll be in College Station from June 26th to 27th. And some players got to keep an eye on Ganado wide receiver there, Austin Pena, and Cuero wide receiver there in Walker Deeds. So wish those 2 players luck and the rest of the teams competing there in 2 weeks. How about Victoria Generals? They revealed their TCL Player of the Week there from last week. We have Victoria Generals batter Dawson Park, who helped the Generals sweep the Gumbo Gators in 4 straight home games, and his stat line didn't disappoint as well. He had a .471 batting average, had a .591 on base percentage with 7 RBIs, 1 double, 1 triple, and 2 home runs to help get that series victory. So congrats there, Dawson Park, for being this week's TCL Player of the Week. And this is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
President Trump sending hundreds of Marines to Los Angeles amid protests against immigration raids. ABC's Perry Russom is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, President Trump sending 700 Marines to Los Angeles amid the protests against immigration and customs enforcement. The Marines will support the nearly 1,700 National Guard troops already on the ground, some seen here protecting a courthouse.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
LA's police chief says most of the protests in the city have been peaceful. He says those who engage in violence or vandalism will be arrested. LA Mayor Karen Bass says the federal government's response is contributing to the chaos.
It makes me feel like our city is actually a test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government.
It comes as peaceful demonstrations against ICE are spreading to other major cities nationwide, including Atlanta, Chicago, and New York.
We are not criminals.
California Governor Gavin Newsom now in a war of words with President Trump after Trump expressed support of arresting Newsom. ABC's Karen Travers with the president.
What crime has he committed that would warrant his arrest? What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed?
Yeah, to warrant his arrest, as you had
suggested
earlier.
I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Newsom challenging Trump on a podcast.
I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on.
California has sued the Trump administration. They are trying to stop the deployment of National Guard troops and Marines. The mayor says they are only protecting 2 federal buildings downtown. Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
Disabled American Veterans Auxiliary 169 is hosting its 7th annual Veterans Picnic to celebrate veterans and their families. DAV Auxiliary Unit Vice Commander Janet Nelson invites any and everybody to be part of the celebration. She says she appreciates all veterans and recognizes their sacrifice. Their mission is to honor and appreciate local veterans and families on Independence Day.
Never feel like we don't care about you. We do, and we try to be out in the community in force to make you feel loved.
Nelson says these events are near and dear to the organization. She intends to show recognition for the veterans. The picnic will be at 2 p.m. Friday, July 4th. Graduation season is winding down, and we're celebrating the class of 2025 as they graduate. Congratulations to Carlos from Providence Christian Academy. Congratulations. Lots of luck in the future, and let God be your guide. Lots of love from Grandma Rosales and Adrian Rosales. Congratulations to Jasmine from Oswald Tivoli ISD. Congratulations, Jasmine Ray Oviedo. We're so proud of you. Love from Mom and Dad. Congratulations to 2025 graduate Kaden. This is just the beginning of your amazing journey. I know God has great plans for you. I love you forevers and evers. Love, Mom. You have until June 13th to send in a photo and a heartfelt message for your 2025 grad. We're featuring them on air and on social media. To send yours, go to crossroadstoday.com, click the entertainment tab, then click the contest tab. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, lawmakers are pushing for a review of air traffic safety following a tragic collision earlier this year. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Kiara. Happy birthday, baby girl. Have a fun day. We love you, Kiara, from Mom and Family.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Kiara. And also happy birthday to Ananias. Happy birthday to my favorite 7-year-old. May your day be as amazing and wonderful as you are. I love you, from Mommy and Sissy.
Happy birthday to supermodel Kate Upton. She turns 33 today.
Happy birthday, Kate Upton. And we may not be in Scranton, but we still want to wish this star a happy birthday. The Office star, Kate Flannery, is 61. Happy birthday, Kate. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:48 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a little more time on the clock in the race to avoid a U.S. debt default. The Congressional Budget Office has updated its forecast, pushing the risk date back by 2 weeks. The CBO now says the U.S. likely won't be at risk of defaulting on its debt until sometime between mid-August and the end of September. The delay gives Republicans more time to finalize a sweeping tax and spending cuts package in the Senate. Many workers are not happy with their jobs, not because of what they do, but when they do it. A new study shows nearly 2/3 of American workers struggle with volatile work schedules. About 41% of workers say they have little to no control over what days or how many hours they work. More than a quarter of them say they don't know their schedule more than 2 weeks in advance. This type of volatility is more common among part-time workers and those without a college degree. Texas abruptly ended in-state tuition for undocumented students after a joint move with the DOJ. A rapid resolution that legal scholars say resembles a collusive lawsuit, with both sides aligned to engineer a specific court outcome. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on crossroadstoday.com. Hurricane season is here and we want you to be prepared. The 2025 tracking guide is here. You can stay prepared and stay safe by picking up your free copy at these locations at Full of Pep in Cuero, the El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo in Victoria, Coastal Bend College, and Went Services in Victoria. Victoria All Sports and Aztec Ford in Goliad. So don't wait and get yours. And thank you to our other sponsors, AEP Texas and USA Concrete Coatings. And speaking of hurricanes, when the storm hits, the power goes out. Will your family be ready? You can stay storm ready with Aztec Ford and Goliad. We're giving you the chance to win a free generator to keep your home powered when you need it the most. It's quick, it's easy, and it could save you big when the lights go out. Come to crossroadstoday.com to register for the Storm Ready Power Giveaway, proudly sponsored by Aztec Ford and Goliad. Click at the menu at the top left of crossroadstoday.com, click on Entertainment, then click on Contest, and then click on Storm Ready Power Giveaway. Good luck. And now let's get a look at our forecast with Parker.
Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Taco Tuesday. Starting out the Tuesday look alive in Port Lavaca. Real sunny out there. So sunny, I'm going to step in front of it so you're not blinded. Otherwise, it's another warm and humid one. It's 78 in Port Lavaca, dew point 77, bringing humidity to 96%. So apply some hairspray with that humidity. Don't worry about fog because we have a little wind out there providing us with mixing. Looking at your radar, we're clear out there. This is actually some radar anomalies with wind turbines around Wharton. But to our west, we have this line of thunderstorms that is going to be coming our way probably between 10 or 11 a.m. up until about 2 or 3 p.m. today for the time frame for the rain, getting up to a high of 90 in Port Lavaca. Same time for all that in Victoria, but a little bit warmer, 93, and about 1 degree warmer than that in Cuero. I'm thinking 94, but don't get used to that, or at least get used to the rain because we got daily rain chances for the rest of the week. So get excited.
Thank you for being with us. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maggie, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.